Hey guys, welcome back. It's so good to see you guys. Hopefully you had a wonderful day on Christmas. Hopefully your heart's not too overwhelmed by COVID. And I think that's what I'm going to talk about today, about being overwhelmed for people in recovery. I know it says in the big book that faith has to work 24 hours a day in and through us or we perish. It's pretty strong words. And I'd have to agree with him. So I wanted to break down what that meant to me. I don't have all the answers, right? I don't have the monopoly on sanity or calmness of heart. I can just tell you what my experience has been over the years when it comes to faith, or the lack of, and me residing in pain, right? It says this disease has nothing to do with alcohol addiction or alcoholism. It has to do, the main problem centers in our mind, right? So our thinking, our behaviors, right? And some people, including myself, have mental health issues, whether it's depression or anxiety, or the more severe, borderline personality disorders, extreme forms of trauma with PTSD, schizophrenia, bipolar. These things all influence on how we adjust and adapt and react to the world, right? And we need people around us and a bunch of solutions, or we revert back to old behaviors and pain management techniques, like using drugs and alcohol, right? Which is what I did for years. I just did a date check, and I've been sober now for, I think, what did it say, 3,680 or 81 days, right? Just over 10 years. And I wrote down some thoughts today about faith, right? Like for me, it says the lack of faith, equals pain for me, because I revert back to that place of how do I protect myself? I'm hurting, like, the world is so sharp to me. People, I can't trust you. Things are not going to end out well for me. The sky is falling, right? That's where my mind automatically gravitates to. I don't know if you guys can relate to that. And so for me, like faith, maybe like a biblical word for you guys, but for me, what it means for me is it's trust and a positive anticipation, even when like the walls are crumbling around me. And it's a muscle that I need to flex, right? And I think it's something we need to develop upon. And I think it needs regular maintenance, right? And that faith for me looks like affirmations. And I need that affirmations not only for myself, but from my sponsor and other brothers and sisters around me on their own spiritual walk, right? They can pull me up when I'm in the gutter, and I can pull other people up when they're in the gutter, right? That's how it works, right? We're all chained together on this path to connect to God or the next phase of our existence. I think addiction is like all about isolation. And if you're in that place of, isolation like we are right now, like you get really fucking lonely. And what that does for me, I ruminate back to a place of how do I fix that? I want to avoid pain. I want to avoid these feelings that are uncomfortable. And like for me, like I don't use drugs and alcohol anymore, but guess what I can do? I can get the attention of the opposite sex. I can throw a bunch of things in my shopping cart on Amazon. I can exercise twice a day. And I got that sweet tooth. So I'm crushing candies over the holiday. But they're all just for me to avoid these feelings that make me respond like in unhealthy manners. I don't know. I think that if people are at that place, for me, like when I'm lonely, often sometimes I'll catch myself going to a place of like reverting away from people and isolating even more, which creates even more loneliness, which creates even more pain. And what am I told to do? Well, I'm told to use my resources, right? So pray, shoot a text message to somebody, let them know what's going on, call your sponsor. And the biggest one for me is get into somebody else's mess. That's a great way for me to not worry about my own problems when I'm trying to help another brother or sister through their own suffering or make their life better or shift and reframe their own perspective on the things that are going on in their life. So yeah, it just reverts back to the basics, right? I thought for sure after all these years of practicing what I learned in AA and as myself through tons of studies when it comes to science, all kinds of religious paths I walked on before I wound up back at the church. Like we're older in age, but the simple principles don't really change. So if you're feeling lonely, reach out to me. Or get back in the basics. Go love on somebody else. Subscribe, like, be good to yourself. You're loved. You're not alone. I'm here for you.